All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. If you hear some noise in the background, it may be my little daughter, my infant child here, making some noise and making herself known. So anyway, here we are, roughly a year after I first began playing DayZ, and things are still going well. I still own an Xbox, right? But I've recently started to play on a PC that my wife surprised me with for Christmas this last holiday season. Thank you, darling, if you're listening. You win at Christmas. Again, I'm going to have to step it up next year to repay her. Alright, going to PC, it opened a lot of gaming possibilities, but for right now, I'm still getting muscle memory down for mouse and keyboard. I've been using a controller and Xbox since I started gaming, so I'm not gonna be a mouse and keyboard warrior for a while yet. So, yeah, Halo Combat Evolved. That was the first game that I ever played back in 2002. I've been chasing that high ever since. And honestly, nothing in the same game type of campaigns or arena PvP shooters has come close, either to the games themselves or to the community that developed between the Halo 2 and 3 era. It's probably not fair to the rest of the gaming industry, but I'm always somehow aggravated that I can't find many games that are as good. Now, DayZ is a different genre, but for me, it scratches that gaming itch. I really wish that I had tried it back in 2013 when it came out, especially after the letdown from 343 Idiots and Micropenis that was the great Halo 4 dumpster fire of 2012. I am late to the party in DayZ, but I am truly glad to get away from the soulless season passes and microtransaction that we as gamers so stupidly allow to exist by continuing to purchase them. Like, we keep that alive, and it's our fault. So, that being said, Bohemia Interactive, you guys are freaking awesome. You've given us a great game that you've continued to work diligently on and expand on. These devs really are some of the best I've ever heard of. As an example of their stalwart and, I'd say, honorable character, I found the random crosses we encounter in-game, like out in the woods, they're put there by the dev team to honor our fellow gamers who logged out at that spot in-game and then logged out in real life. So when I say this, I say it from the bottom of my heart. I love these devs, and I love this studio. They clearly do have their hearts and minds in the right place, and they seem to legit care about their community. So thanks, Bohemia Interactive. Your team may never see this video, but I want it to be known that you guys are seen and respected. Alright, now finally I'll get on with my analysis. So DayZ is beautifully brutal, and has been a great dive for me into survival and horror. Are the infected we counter scary? Sure. Yes, they are. It's quite a bit scarier, though, when a pack of hangry forest puppies aggroes on you and starts to run you down, though. That howling still gives me a shot of adrenaline and a sinking feeling in my gut, and I immediately begin to look for a safe place to get away from their attack range, whether that's a building or on top of some boxes, somewhere they can't hurt me, right? The scariest thing of all, though, is finding traces of another player, or hearing gunshots in the distance, or worse, up close. Actually, yeah, up close is always scarier. You never know when someone will be friendly or a psychopath, if they're desperate for what you have, or if they just aren't going to take a chance and leave you alive because they're scared too. So this is a game that plays beautifully on human psychology. The NPCs and players in game aren't the only things to consider here. That's right, Amory. That's right. It's not just about the players. The game itself will take you out as surely and possibly more than anything else. So you can get sick, right? You can bleed out. You can dehydrate. You can starve. You can go hypothermic and unalive from the cold. Every single thing about your environment affects your health. If any one thing is critical, such as hunger, your overall health will suffer as a consequence. If you're both hungry and super cold, for example, stop squirming, Amory, then your health's going to deplete more quickly, right? So food can go bad and give you food poisoning. Food not cooked can give you salmonella. Food that's right off the stove or on fire, or fire, sorry. Blech. Anyway, if it's too hot, You can actually hurt yourself by trying to eat it. You'll burn yourself. Let's see. We got food. So water. Water can carry bacteria or heavy metals to make you sick if you drink it, depending on the map. So you need to obtain good drinking water or decontaminate the water. Or you can find other foods or sodas or something with moisture to provide some level of hydration replenishment. Let's see. If your clothes are damaged or wet, they'll provide less insulation against the elements, so it pays to keep them dry and in good repair with duct tape or what are they called? Sewing kits. Yeah, that's right, Amory. Sewing kits. Shoes. They get damaged over time too, naturally. So you'll have to either swap shoes or use a leather sewing kit to repair shoes. Weapons and gear, they'll gradually degrade with use. So, at least for me, I found it important to keep a gun cleaning kit on me if possible, epoxy putty, sharpening stone, and leather sewing kit if those things are available. That prevents weapon and gear degradation, right? Because, I mean, as things degrade, they get less effective. And in the middle of a firefight, weapons can jam if they're damaged, right? Or if the magazine is damaged. Or if the ammunition itself is damaged, right? So, that's horrible news if you're fighting for your life. Really, really bad. Yeah, Amory, that's really, really bad. We don't want to unalive. You need to make a fire to get a heat buff against the chill air. And building a base or finding enough parts to repair a vehicle could be to your advantage. Of course, in my experience, building a base or vehicle makes me a freaking target. And makes people want to, shoot me and take my stuff. So, I could go on and on about the insanio details in DayZ, even though I don't really consider myself a DayZ veteran, at least not compared to guys that have been playing for years. But, I think I'll hold off for now from talking your ear off about it. I've had a lot of advice given to me in the live stream chat. I've been super blessed by you guys as I've gone through this DayZ journey. And I'm sure that if you're new and watching this, then you'll learn a lot if you hop into a live stream or into the comment section to ask questions. Yeah, that's right, kid. We like learning new things. See? We like learning new things, guys. So DayZ, it's amazing. I'm going to keep coming back to it, but it's not the only game I'm going to play. I mean, there is a wide world of developers and their studios hard at work creating worlds and creating stories for us to explore. But like I said, after a year, I can definitely say that I consider myself a DayZ fan, a Bohemia Interactive fan, and this is a game that I'm going to keep coming back to, unless something drastic and awful happens, which, hopefully it freaking doesn't, but you never know. Anyway, love you guys. If you've watched this far, I'd appreciate you dropping a like, and I want to remind you that subscribing is totally free. Wink, wink. Ain't that right, Amory? Subscribe. All right, y'all take care of yourselves and your loved ones. Stay safe and go do something to make you or your community better. Peace.